Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas live trading room recap for what is it today? Friday, September the 21st. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Any questions for me, you can use this email address. And this is a link to get into our 100% free trading room. You do not have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our trading room. And I open the room typically around 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So when I start to share my screen, I get live on the mic at 9:05. I do go to 3:30 Mondays to Thursdays and 3 o'clock on Fridays. This is a subscription link. There is a promo code in this email for 15% off. That'll be off the first month of a standard or premium subscription or the entire year of a standard or premium subscription. So, interesting day. For the longest time, I really was doing nothing. This is quad witching hour, options expiry, all that sort of stuff. So the market, I mean, look at some of these ones in the pre-market that were really ripping. Let me take a look at this one. Oops, how come you're not loading? Just a second here. Okay, just a second here. Hopefully this doesn't. I think I might have just typed. There we go. So we saw a lot of things like this in the pre-market stocks. This was of course a story stock over the last few days. Little beverage company, maybe who knows? Maybe Coke's interested. We don't know really. It's part of the pot sector, cannabis sector. Anyway, we saw a lot of this in the pre-market. Stocks that were ripping higher and then really gave it up and then dropped once the market opened. The exception, but I can't even call this an exception. I mean, look at, I guess I can't call this an exception. It hadn't really moved too much in the pre-market. Moved enough, but look what it did. Now I understand that this got what as high as $22.62. This was, take a look at it on the daily chart. I mean, this was a $3, $3.50 stock. The news here was something to do with Apple. A lot of excitement on that day. Then it looked like it was giving it up. A lot of people probably thought, oh well, I guess that's it. And then look what over the last, the 2 days. Yesterday was a great day. Today, absolutely incredible. Now, why does this happen? When you look at the float, only 2.65 million shares in the float. That's very, very low. Those are the theoretical number of shares that can be traded on a given on a daily basis. So the lower that number, and when a stock is in demand, is like any other commodity on Earth. Low supply, high demand. This is the craziness that can happen. So let me get back to the 15-minute time frame. So MDXG, as I was saying, I was kind of, I don't want to say floundering. I was kind of waiting to see if anything was going to really trigger for me. I had tried UNFI a couple of times to no avail. It was kind of whippy for me. But I kept waiting and waiting and waiting. And all of a sudden, MDXG presented itself. Now, I believe that one of the reasons why this one is up today is that I believe it's in the same sector as MZOR, and there's a buyout for this one by MDT, and it's a surgical appliance, I believe it's a surgical appliance, or it's in that sector anyway. So that is probably why, though it may not be. It may just be because traders are in it. But let me MDXG, sorry, MDXG. So I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited for that 650 to finally break. See how it did it once? And then it came back down. Then it did it again. And I finally got into this trade at 651. And I sold some right here at 685. And then on the way up, it popped up through 7. And when it went down again, I got out of everything. However, we kept waiting on it. And when it broke over 7 again. Now, the interesting thing is that we were waiting, I think 7. Well, I know what I was waiting. I was waiting for a break of this high right there, 711 or 712, whatever that number is. So I ended up taking the trade again at 719, sold some right here at 750, and my goodness, I mean, it just absolutely screamed higher. And I'm going to show you what that number is all about right there. I'm all out of it now. Sold more at 793 as it broke down. It popped up again, and I sold basically the balance right around here. And now it's come right down. Now, why is this number interesting? That number right there is exactly, see that If you can, well, it's hard. That's 818. Take a look at where the 200-day moving average is, 818. So, I'm a fairly simple trader in terms of all sorts of different technical indicators. People ask me, do I use RSI, MACD, stochastics, et cetera, and I don't. I just don't. But the 200-day moving average is certainly something that I'm always aware of because it's amazing how many times a stock will perhaps touch it and then it just struggles to get through it. Now, I'm not saying it's never going to get through it, but it just struggles to get through it. I mean, look at this. It almost got close right there, got right on it right there, tried again, and it's just stalling. So that's the only indicator that I really pay a lot of attention to, the 200-day simple moving average on the daily chart. We had all sorts of discussion in the room, people saying, well, that's not what mine says. Well, we're always talking about the SMA, not the EMA, not the exponential moving average, and it's always on the daily chart. I'm not talking about any other time frame. So anyway, that is the trade. That was the big trade for me today. And I only tried to trade UNFI a couple of times, and it just didn't work out. I mean, I didn't get hurt on it or anything, but it just didn't work out. But it just goes to show you don't have to trade all day. You just wait for a setup, and if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, just move on. So that is probably it for me in terms of the trading week. It's at 120 right now. I'm shutting the room down at 3. Don't want to. It really has to. Something really has to set up well for me to get into something again. So anyway, I think I'll close this down right now. And 1 second, please. Just want to put this on pause. Okay, just going to shut this down now. Any questions for me? You can use this email address, and this is a link to get into our free trading room. And I say I'll open the room at 9 o'clock Monday morning. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll see you in the trading room Monday morning. Bye-bye.